Hello and welcome to my Let's Play Kerbal Space Program. My name is Hillstash, and this is a new ship, the Moon Miner 1. And yeah, thanks for watching my episode, the 100th episode, where I had a lot of fun putting some debris in space. So this ship is going to be a test ship. That's why I haven't given it a scientist name. Its primary mission is going to be to land on the moon, and in anticipation for 0.19. I'm just going to fix up some things here. I haven't finished designing it. I figured I'd bring people in while I was still working on it, so I'm going to add a custom group to toggle my solar panels. And I probably need... what else? I don't know. I am recording the audio after the fact here. I recorded this whole episode and for some reason the microphone did not work, and I should have done a test. I'm showing the docking ports here. So there are docking ports above and below. So this ship is, eminently dockable. It's got some RCS, we've got struts. It's kind of modeled after my Lunar lander, rescue lander. I probably should think about maybe reusing that ship. I don't know, but I am going to try just this ship out and see what it's like landing on the moon. So this is all done in anticipation of 0.19, where there's resources. And I've been watching a lot of Scott Manley's videos, and he's just got that Kethane rig going on his reusable spacecraft series, and it looks pretty fun and awesome. So let's see, this ship then is kind of like anticipating that. I don't have Kethane in yet, but I think the moon and Minmus will be good places to do some mining to start, to at least practice and see what it's like. So this ship, hopefully, or a ship similar to it, will be able to do something like that. So let's see, what else was I talking about here? Not a lot of movement on the screen. This is interesting. I did a voiceover way back, maybe like my second or third or fourth episode that I ever recorded, just to see, because I know this is the way Scott Manley does it, and I thought I'd do it and see whether it worked or not for me, and I found it very much doesn't work, because yeah, I don't know, I guess I just don't know what I'm thinking about, or I don't have a good enough plan perhaps ahead of time, which actually sounds a lot like my my ships and how they land and how I build them and how my missions tend to go due to lack of planning. Anyway, so yeah, we've got nuclear rockets, we've got the landing gear there, we've got a way for our Kerbals to get in and out of the tin can, and what I'm thinking now is that it does not have enough delta V, so I'm going to add some boosters on, but I am going to have problems adding boosters. Unfortunately, here's the delta V calculation. It doesn't take into account the docking port, the fact that the fuel flows across it, so it seems a little high right now, I think. There's something going on there, I'm not entirely sure whether it's showing the orange tank or not. Now that I'm thinking about it and having flown the mission, I think it actually is showing the orange tank. I think the orange tank's 1308 meters a second on its own. That makes some sense to me. So anyway, I think I'm mentioning I'm going to have to disable fuel cross feed there. And yeah. Anyway, so I'm going to add some boosters on here. I'm going to attempt to. So I am going to have some issues doing so. At least it's got the game audio. That would be even more annoying, as if there was no sound at all. So yeah, I've had some issues since 0.18.4 with that, yeah, not being able to put things on these decoupler thingies. And it is specifically this one. It's what am I trying to say? The other ones work. Hang on a second. Anyway, so we're gonna get these attached on. And see somewhere, yeah. Anyway, we'll get these attached on, and then I am going to launch this ship and see how it goes. I will eventually get it on, despite all these errors occurring. So I'll bring you back in on the pad. Okay, so here we are on the pad, and Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's got enough Delta V to get up now that I've got those extra boosters on. We've got Elbury and Sigil. I think they've both been on some missions before, but I may be wrong. Now, let's just check in the staging. I think everything's fine there. As you can see, the Delta V calculations have changed since the VAB. Anyway, disabling the cross feed, as I mentioned that I needed to do. It didn't. I think it might have. Did it change the Delta V's this time? I don't think it did. A little bit weird. Anyway, let's give it some juice, and we will launch. I did a countdown for this, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to time it correctly, and the audio may be slightly off-synced from the video anyway, so I'm not going to do a countdown. But we're going very, very shortly. There we go. So I think I will probably going to fast forward a little bit. One thing to watch out for is the I don't notice it yet, but the liquid fuel in my first set of liquid ones in the asparagus staging are going to run out before my solid boosters, so that's a fun thing. And then I do end up trying to fast forward or something, and I get a little squiggly before I get up into orbit. Anyway, but I will fast forward and meet you. Oh no, I won't meet you in orbit. Should I keep recording audio then? You know what, I think I'm going to. Why not? I will. So I've noticed I'm throttling down. There's a reason I'm going to keep recording audio, you'll see in a little bit. Because I don't actually really go straight to orbit. So we're dragging along some extra tanks and engines there for a little bit. Not that long. I'm going to run out of solid fuel here very shortly. But it didn't help my Delta V calculations any. But there they go. So we did manage to keep it around 100 meters a second without using too much extra fuel. And, oh, there's a little kitty. Oh, she's playing with one of our other kitties that doesn't really like to play very much. I can tell you that we are going to keep the little kitty, so that's exciting. We haven't come up with a name for her yet. Apparently, it's up to me, and I don't know. I haven't really thought of a good name yet. So suggestions are welcome. She's this super cute little black kitty. If you haven't seen her, there's some videos there. I could do some more videos too if anyone's interested. I was just checking for debris in the video here. There goes another set of tanks. Just checking for debris. Turns out that no debris around. It seems to have all passed by at this point. Anyway, yeah, see, there it is, all there, just gone by. So let's see. That was a weird sound, but so I started my rollover. Now I'm rolling over a little harder. And again. So I got a little distracted and I didn't do my gravity turn very well there. That's okay. I do like using these the big engines again. Just the thrust to weight ratio on them. Just having that much thrust available is really great, despite their low ISP. Makes getting into orbit nice and easy. So there's another fairly aggressive turn, and about to run out of fuel in this next stage. And I was just commenting that most of the atmosphere is now gone, so I can pitch over a little bit harder. Okay, there goes that. Okay, so I see the moon rising, and here's the debate I'm going to have. I've never done it before, but why not? Is it possible to go straight to the moon from where I was? Just do a straight lunar shot. And so it's either, anyway, that's the debate. And I think that's a pretty good idea. And so that's what I'm going to end up doing, is just going straight for the moon. So maybe I will cut out the audio here now that we've reached this point. And there's nothing much to shooting straight for the moon. It happened to be at a very good angle when I took off. So you really just burn same, except for you don't circularize your orbit. You just really keep burning. And there's a benefit too, because the if the orange tank had enough delta V to get into orbit on its own, it would drop back. It'd be able to give it a lot more delta V, but still probably drop back into the atmosphere when it came back around the other side of the planet. So anyway, that's pretty cool, and there's not much going to happen here until that point, so I'm going to cut this out and fast forward. Okay, so check that out. Very good moon encounter. No periaps at all. It's just a direct collision with the moon. So it turns out doing the launch straight for the moon was a really good idea, and it was really easy to do. So just trying to figure out the angle, and of course it's kind of obvious. The moon really just has to be just below the horizon from Kerbal Space Center. So you can see there, it still is. The moon hasn't moved very much since we took off. So if anyone else wants to recreate that and retry that works pretty well. So let's see. I think there's nothing really else to do but fast forward to the moon. Solar panels. Solar panels are good. We need power. We don't want to run out of power. So yeah. I think it's just time to fast forward to the moon. So here we are in the moon's sphere of influence, and it looks like we are going to get a touchdown on the light-ish side, maybe just before sunset. So not too bad. The big question I have, of course, is how early to start burning, because I'm going to be coming in at a fair velocity, already at 500 meters a second. That's just going to keep going up, and it says 4.4 thrust-to-weight ratio, but it's the nuclear engines. We know they don't have a lot of thrust. We're at 240 kilonewtons of thrust, 33 tons. It's going to take a little bit to slow us down. So anyway, I'm going to head in and probably start doing some burns around 200,000 meters, just to kind of get a feel for how much I can decelerate. And then, yeah. Also seeing that other ship flying around there would be a good idea to, I forget what ship that is floating around the moon in orbit. Might get to check that out later. See if it's dockable, see if it's crewed. I really don't remember. So, I'll fast forward a little bit till we get a little bit closer down. Okay, time to start decelerating for real. I did a couple of bursts there, but getting a little closer down now. It wouldn't hurt to really start decelerating. Trying to figure out if we can do the calculations here. So we're going around 600 meters a second, say, and then we're at 60,000 meters. So that's 100 seconds at that speed to hit the ground, so a minute and a half or so, a little bit more. So we're decelerating though, so it's going to extend that time. So yeah, you should be able to do the full calculations and know exactly how hard to decelerate. Like I should have when I crashed into the moon around Joule, the really big one. Totally blanking on the name at the moment. I should have probably had a better idea of how earlier to thrust, because but I didn't, and obviously that went poorly. Nuclear engines there as well. Anyway, let's see. Everything's looking fine. Come down to 450 meters a second now, down to 30,000 meters. Better get out the landing information though, the surface information. And I think what I'm going to do too is let MechJeb land it this time. One of the things I forgot, and I think I don't know if you maybe saw it earlier when I was fast forwarding there, but I realized I didn't have an SAS module, ASAS module on this. So when you turn off Smart ASS and you hit T, it does essentially nothing, which is unfortunate. And that's typically the way I normally land: is turn off Smart ASS and then just use the manual ASAS. So here I am. I'm trying to figure out if I can use the kill rotation to do kind of a similar station holding, and it works fairly well. But there's a problem with it at some point, and I just decided to use MechJeb's landing. So actually, the reason I've done that now is I want to make it so that I'm coming straighter down instead of at this angle. So if I keep burning more horizontally, and then you can see the vertical, the marker there starts heading a little bit up more. And now I'm going to start playing around with the settings here. And in the meantime, I'm going to screw this up, essentially. Watch my velocity. I'm playing around trying to get the angle correct, coming straight down correct, and I forget about the fact that I'm still decelerating fairly hard. And I almost come to a complete stop here, but I don't. Catch it just in time. Sometime around now. Oh, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, oh, just under 5 meters a second. So, whoops. So, anyway, everything is pretty good there. What am I trying to do? Oh, I'm thinking, you know what, I could use the surf and set it at 90. And that should keep me pointing straight up now that we're falling close enough to vertically. So that's pretty awesome. Yeah, you can see the speed pull back up pretty quick. The moon is not huge, but it's got enough gravity that it, with no atmosphere. Oh, that's the dog barking downstairs. With no atmosphere to slow it down, you can see it's already what 80 meters a second. So that's getting up there. Anyway, I think I'm going to tell MechJeb to land me soon here. There we go. Land. I haven't let MechJeb land in a long time. I don't know if I ever have on any of my Let's Plays before. It kind of takes the fun out of it a little bit, but here it goes. So yeah, over 100 meters a second we got up to. Down to 600 meters of altitude. MechJeb seems to know what it's doing. If it was me, I'd be kind of panicking at this point, but there we go, that's looking pretty nice. Yeah, that's the dog barking. Barking at our poor little kitten. There's the landing. Good job, MechJeb. A little bit of a tilt there. Not too bad, not too bad. I don't know. Oh, I'm mentioning I think I want the landing gear a little bit wider. Yeah, because that tilt was kind of scary. And I hit a wrong button there. Oops. Just a little bounce for good measure. I don't know. Yeah, so got rid of the landing thing. Everything looks good. And so let's do a little... Oh, everything looks good, but we still have to test the landing, whether we can get in and out easily. So we'll pick Sigil. Sigil will come out, do the first moon EVA in quite some time. It's been a while since I've been on the moon for anything. Was it a Duna test? I can't remember. There's a good bounce. Very nice. Okay, the test is done. The shortest Kerbal moonwalk in history, potentially. But he's heading back in. So, yeah, design-wise, I'm thinking, you know what? Why not pull out the Duna rescue lander? I can't remember the name offhand, but I think that maybe I'll take a look at that and maybe modifying it for being a moon only. One of the things this thing has is it has no ability to land on in an atmosphere, so it has no parachutes, it has no escape systems, which is, you know, maybe a bit of a problem, but I think I'm pretty confident these days. A little bit more confident. Just testing out the RCS, get a little twist going. I think I'm fairly confident with the landings and things like that on the moon and Minmus. So it needs ASAS. It needs maybe wider apart landing legs. Other than that, it's in pretty good shape, I would say. So, whoops. Hope the audio doesn't get too out of sync here. I'm just pausing and things. This is hard. This is one of the hard things to do. I don't like this voiceover stuff. Props to Scott Manley, because this is hard to do. People maybe don't realize that, but it's not only hard to record and do things while talking. Just thinking of using the Translatron. I saw, again, Scott, speaking of him, use it quite a bit in his reusable spacecraft video. So I'm gonna give it a try, just to see. Okay, that seems to work fairly nicely. I should have done a bit of a hover there, but yeah, that's nice. So let's see. There's just checking out some of the options here. Keep obituary, clearly. Keep vert is keep green, and keep surf is for anyone from California to keep surfing. And there's a panic button. Don't know what it does, but you probably shouldn't panic. It's a good rule. And let's see. Yeah, there we go. Okay, keep green, everyone. Keep green. Yep, taking off. The switch from this to manual control, though, when you're taking off using it, I don't think this is meant to be used to take off necessarily. But well, that didn't retract. Let's try it again. There we go. Okay. So we switch it off. Back in manual control. Okay, which way do I want to head? Okay, I'm just going to manually tilt it over to kind of the 90-degree range, and then there we go. Nope, I'm gonna get a different. Oh, that's confusing. There we go. And only a little off target. Bringing it back. There we go. Okay, we can get rid of this stuff now. Get rid of Translatron, surface information. Nope, surface information. Oh, okay. There we go. Now it's orbital information. Okay. Oop. Don't know what I was doing there. Just checking on my apoapse is 14, so nope, we need to be higher than that. Although I think this week's challenge is something to do with orbiting incredibly low around a body. Anyway, I think that's a fairly easy challenge. I mean, you can't use MechJeb to do it, but I don't think that's a big challenge. I could have done that with this one potentially. Okay, so let's just head to apoapse and head to apoapse and then circularize from there. Just having another look at that other ship, trying to figure out what it is. I think we will switch to it. And actually I know we'll switch to it because I'm recording the audio afterwards and I know exactly what I've done. Here we go to the apoapse. And circularize. Again, this thing still has just a monstrous amount of delta V left. Has anyone done calculations on how much delta V it takes from like a 50-kilometer orbit around the moon to get down and back up to the same orbit? That would be a good question, actually. One of the great things about delta V is it's independent of your ship's mass, your engine thrust, anything like that. It's just a pure how much fuel you kind of burn to get to a certain, like to move like a meter a second kind of thing is kind of what that. No, well, delta V is just your change in velocity, right? So, yeah. Anyway, I'm getting confused with ISP there. This is the danger of recording audio afterwards. Danger, danger. Okay, so we're in orbit. We're fairly like a kilometer off each other. That was done all manually, pretty much, except for the prograde thing. Okay, so let's switch to this thing. It's Hook Moon 2, and it is my old very minimal lander with no one left in it. Did I transfer them back manually? I can't remember. Anyway, yeah, it's a cute little lander. It must have been fairly early on in 0.18 that I used this. It wasn't the. It's got a docking port on it. It wasn't the Apollo style, I don't think. Moon lander. I think that one had 2 Kerbals in it. Anyway, unsure what that is. So I'm gonna call the episode here. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Hillstash. Let me know what you want me to do in the next some videos. I'm not exactly sure myself. I tried some space planes a little bit earlier. It didn't go well. Oh, if you have a space plane for me to fly, that'd be something. Let me know. Let me know where it is. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Hillstash, and I'll see you soon.